Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominions 5. I am the False God, and we are jumping in with Phaeacia. On turn 35, if you'll recall from last time, we are starving, because we are not thinking clearly. Phalegra has put up Mother Oak, courtesy of Recuperon, his giant draken. That's going to be a lot of nature gems for him, and there's some good options for nature gems for Phalegra. A lot of cool stuff they can do with gear and Gift of Reason. We get attacked by a Black Dryad. Not ideal. We can see that Ulm is pressing into Vanheim. I forgot to put PD in again. We have a battle in Asphodel. Nobody here. Again, Starvation is doing what Asphodel forces cannot. We did kill a vampire who attacked us. Took control. Asphodel is growing. We got hit by a tidal wave. I believe this is in fact a neutral event. Tidal wave is pretty high up the chain. I don't think that anybody's really casting tidal wave on us. Yeah, we're getting disease in Asphodel. We did manage to at least one turn breach the wall. So we're gonna storm, but as you can see, so many people are diseased. And starving are going to pick up afflictions. They're going to have very low morale. This guy's got battle fright as well, but just terrible morale. So they're not gonna stand up in a long fight. And I did not properly sort of take that into account. Again, we're just on elementals and then strength of giants basically. And I think we might have been better off less being focused on our troops and going for some evocations. The elementals are probably still fine though, but evocations, I think, getting up to astral fires, which we could have done, would have been big. And getting penetration items would have been huge, and we didn't do it. So now, to be fair, we have really terrible Pearl income. So even the low cost of the astral items would be significant, right? These are 5 and 5, but each one only going to cost us 2. So would have been nice. We're getting our Hesperide up, which is nice. It's going to give us some more nature access, and then nature fire access. Our god has access to lots of great stuff. No death and no blood, but a good amount of everything else. He can make an elemental staff by just giving him the air helmet that we had this guy make. We also made a bag of winds. I think the bag of winds may have been a mistake. I don't think I really talked about when we made it. I was like, yes, booster, good. And yes, boosters are good, but we already had access to air 5, and we're planning on making an elemental staff that'll take us to air 6. So what are we gonna cast at air 7 that we needed to make this right now instead of having potentially access to the air gems, right? Air 7 is like not a lot of things. Nothing here. There's Fata Morgana, which we're not gonna cast. Nope. Galegate's only 5. Yeah, like there's no reason. There's no reason to go to air 7. And it costs like 40 air gems or something. Yeah, 40 air gems. Now we got it at a reduced rate, but I think this was a mistake. I think we could have waited until we needed it and not just did it. But we do have other plans, right? We need to get this guy, or we need to get our Pearl income up a little bit, or look to potentially alchemize some water gems. Because once we get the Starshine Skullcap and the Crystal Coin, we can put up Stellar Focus. Here, and we need also Enchantment 7, which we are in the process of getting to. We're like a number of turns away, but like 2 or 3. But then that'll help us with our pearl problem as well. But I do think that we could have maybe also used fewer pearls site searching and used more like manual site searches. The problem with us manually site searching for Astral, we only have Astral 2s, which are good, but not enough. Look, I'm moving more troops onto this stupid fort. Oh my god. The starvation is just crushing. Like, what are they going to do? I'm hoping to win this battle. And so what are these guys going to do? They're just going to starve with them. It's terrible. It's terrible. If I was on the ground here being led or leading these idiots, they definitely would have revolted. Still trying to pick off these stupid packs of guys. Currently, I'm not really even trying to pick them off, it would appear. I'm just sort of hitting. I'm doing a little bit, like I'm trying to catch them here. But we're not doing a ton. There's also this unclaimed throne over here, by the way, which is an unclaimed throne. And we have an army. So, you never know. Unclaimed throne. But yeah, so let's see if we're doing anything else. Yeah, we're going to get the Hesperide. We'll look at the Hesperide when she shows up, but she's very big. And we'll go ahead and go to the next turn, and we can watch this fight at Asphodel. It's a 36. And we'll jump right into the Asphodel of it all. So, let's go ahead and just before let's see what Asphodel has. They've got, big balls of mannequins, some long dead horsemen. They have some of these carrion beasts, which are giant HP elephants. They are mindless, as I assume all of these guys. No. Okay. The Sagittarian carcass is not mindless. The mannequins are. So what I think I mentioned in a prior one is that we could have sniped a lot of the valuable mages, like this dude in the middle here. Yeah, not mindless. We could have potentially sniped this guy off with high pen soul slays. He's at MR 17. There's also a couple of casters in the back. But we can see exactly what they have here, right? They have a lot of carrion lords, 6 carrion lords, and then another couple of mages, and then some revenants who are death 1 with some gems. So, first of all, I have no idea what these guys in the back are supposed to be doing. What am I afraid of? They're not going to fly. I guess they've got harpies? Maybe I was afraid of harpies? I don't know if there are any harpies in here. I don't really... Maybe is that a harpy? There's a harpy in here. Like, it's probably not a big deal. But I just have these guys behind. It's possible that being closer would have been better. I think I should have put up Aerofend because there are some archers and they could target my mages. My mages are all close enough to be in danger here. But let's go ahead and see what everybody does. So we're communing up. We've got 3 air elementals that go out. Foul Vapors. There it is. As expected, the air elementals land in the back, but they're actually not super effective. And they're going to get shrunk pretty darn fast. Foul Vapors is real bad for us. We also have some sort of goofing around in the front here. Lots of Horde of Skeletons. Now we see Gifts of Heaven and Lightning Bolts coming out. Blade Wind 2. Yeah, like, this Gifts of Heaven is just not in the right place for us. Our troops also have garbage morale, right? 9 morale. More Blade Winds coming out. Those are tough on our communions. What the heck is this guy? A Minotaur mannequin. Like the Blade Winds are doing a good job. They are tough on our communions. We can see how our people are holding up here. 12 fatigue, so we're doing okay there. This one's at 36. 12. So 100 and oof. I wonder why this one has so much fatigue. She's a slave too. It's a master. I don't know why this one. She doesn't have any earth, that's why. Do all the other slaves have earth? That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So she's getting crushed because she hasn't got any earth. I have my princes on advancing cast. A lot of poison coming out. He's doing pull from the grave because he's a priest. That is not what we want him doing. Probably would have been better understanding and casting. We're not doing any of what I discussed being important, right? We're not getting anybody to the back line. We're getting totally bogged up. We've retreated. A lot of our guys are going to die on the way out here. They're going to pop from the poison. And it's really bad. We lost 2 storm captains, 4 weavers, none of our princes, and then, you know, a large number of troops. We killed 1 dryad, and a lot of chaff, right? They've only got 50 chaff left. But this is totally avoidable. We could have waited for relevant research. We could have switched research targets to better sort of account for this. We could have made supply items to keep our morale up. You know, we're not as vulnerable to foul vapors as some other nations, right? We have colossi, so they have more hit points than regular humans. But a lot of mistakes went into this fight. A lot of mistakes. We get raided. We raid. We can watch this fight. Big fight in Ulm attacking Vanheim in Vanheim. Vanheim just with the Mage Core left and some Einherr, although it's middle age, right? So these, while cool, are not super effective. Oh yeah, I think I mentioned potentially. Let's see, we got Howl and Natural Storm. Strength of Giants going. Oh, it's too many spells for me to read. I see Air Shield coming out. Strength of Giants again. Magma Bolts. Obviously, Fire Arrows are out. They have Natural Storm up, but I don't know they have Wind or Arrow Fend up. So a lot of these projectiles going to be getting through. I don't know why these guys went up on the walls. And fast forward. Ultimately, I don't think that there's enough here. A lot of good lightning coming out. I don't know if there's quite enough chaff here, though. Although they really haven't gotten there. We got skeletons. There's Gifts of Heaven. More lightning. But now they're through. They've run out of chaff. The arrows have whittled down what's back here as well. But Ulm is going to rout off. No, they're just running around after wolves. The wolves doing a great job of distracting these Ulmites. But ultimately, they're through the wall here. And they're going to finish them off. So Van loses everything. Ulm loses 7 mages and 85 troops. So, you know, it's not nothing. If Van just had a little bit more in the way of chaff here, I think that they maybe could have pulled this off. Or if they'd put up Aerofend or Mist. Because I think Mist and Storm stack could have gone a long way to not dying here. I don't know what research they have. I'm not like criticizing. Just I think those are things that all could have helped if they had access to them. Dominion of Growth and Rebirth. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of those in Asphodel. Asphodel lands. We'll lose 2. We got hit with another tidal wave. That's a. Wait, here? Oh wait, it was here. Maybe somebody's casting it at us. I don't know. I don't know why they would. What is tidal wave? It's I think it's evocation, right? Water? No, nobody's casting at us. It's level 5. It's research 9. We're just supremely unlucky. We're just getting tidal waved into oblivion by Illwinter. Hashtag misfortune scales. Barbarian independent barbs attack Valegran barbs, but are defeated. And we're still starving. So now I've moved a second army on here with less mage support. They haven't all started starving just yet, but that's coming. A lot of our troops get scattered. And we're moving more and more troops and people all onto here to go at it a second time. What we're going to use to try and make it work the second time is mass flight. And we're going to try and jump right on the back and take them out. Although we will still have the same problem of a lot of our people are going to be starving, which is unfortunate. And I'm still doing, Earth Power, Strength of Giants, Legions of Steel. I don't know that Strength of Giants is super important here. We're sort of against garbage chaff, so Legions of Steel would do a lot better. On the other hand, Strength of Giants is helpful in killing stuff faster. So it's good better against foul vapors. You can see I did not think they were going to ride out because I am unscripted. I am just in a gigantic blob called the Blob. We got our under siege here. We're going to go ahead and knock them off, though. Phalegra took this, so we can't see it, but Phalegra took this with a Tyrant and then immediately got sniped by Belial, which is pretty funny. This is a valuable resource, potentially, if we could organize an Enslave Mind or Charm to get Belial. That would be huge. It's difficult and it would be pretty expensive in terms of getting the mage support there, like time-wise. But we also, speaking of getting the mage support there time-wise and expensive, we should really be forging shoes to have access to when we need them. We should also be considering, because we are planning on getting higher astral, we have access to astral mages and gateway. We should be considering army plus leadership items, so that we have access to plus leadership items for additional mobility where needed. We already have a lot of great mobility around our core lands, but like getting to Mictlan to support it in the event of probably not a Vanheim attack at this point. They kind of seem like they're losing, but an Ulm attack or a Phalegra attack or a Calum attack is going to be really difficult, right? It's a long road, and we've already seen we have supply issues in both of these, so it could be very effective to get that sort of put together. We do have limited gems, but in any event, we're going to go ahead and we're just we're moving off the fort. Why are these guys moving off the fort? And these guys are moving onto the fort. I think I changed my mind here, because I don't know why I'd move some people off the fort and these people onto the fort. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I think we're gonna find when I do the next turn that I don't do this. I hope, because it is really goofy. Yeah, it's extremely goofy. We'll hope I don't do that. Our first Hesperide is going to do higher specs. And then our god is doing contact Hesperide again. See these Hesperides, eight path mages. They're sacred. They have 6 awe. They come with a little bit of fire resistance. They are healers, and they reduce unrest. Tremendous unit. 35 fire gems, though, is pretty darn expensive. At our fire income, it's going to take us 5 turns to make 1, and we also have other things we need fire gems for. I don't think I've done a great job of site searching this game. And I don't think that the Mictlan and Asphodel lands are well site searched, so we're going to have to get some people in there. I think I fell into a bit of a habit I have noticed I have in some other games where I do a decent job of site searching my initial lands. But then when I conquer new lands, I either don't site search or I only remote site search. But it would still be valuable. These princes don't just need to be sitting around researching. Now, there's a little bit of danger to them, yes, because there are hordes of centaur kind of running around here. But that's a separate problem I should be dealing with. But like these guys could go and site search just fine, and probably should be, instead of adding 22 research is great, but it's not that important. We've got Lightless Lanterns coming. Like, we shouldn't be doing it that way. You can see we're getting our Star Sign Skullcap together. Which that guy needs, let's see, Astral. Solar Brilliance is only at 5. Or not Solar Brilliance, sorry, Stellar Focus is only at 5. So Starshine Skullcap we're making here is going to let this guy cast Stellar Focus. We're only getting +5, so we are going to have to alchemize some water gems, but that's fine. We have tons of water gems. Okay. I finally have switched my plan up here. So we're going to finish Enchantment 7. Good idea. I still approve of that. We're all now going to go to Evocation 8. So what I'm trying to do here is, let's see, what star I think shows everybody? Yeah. What I am trying to do here, and we'll talk about these in order, but specifically is Maelstrom. I have a lot of water gems. I have access to underwater. I have access to a water 6 who can cast this. This is worth 20, 23, and then another, 4? 27 gems, because there's 8 types. We have these 3, and there's 4 more. So 27 gems a turn is huge. It also, this gives us as much Astral as Stellar Focus. And if we don't need the water, we can turn the water into Astral. So Maelstrom is a really powerful gem generating spell. And we have access to it. Now, what I of course am thinking of is, who obviously has access to big water mages and tons of water is Pelagia. And yes, absolutely, I am sure that Pelagia can overcast our Maelstrom at some point if they want to. But it's turn 36. Evocation 8 is not on Pelagia's goals. At least not in a standard game. So I'm not terribly concerned that Pelagia is going to rush up and try and take Maelstrom from us. They're going for Wish or something, right? They're happy in their pond. They're researching up to Wish so they can do that whole thing. So I think we're going to be able to take, hopefully, Maelstrom and get that huge gem bonus for ourselves. Now, we also get lots of other cool stuff, obviously, along the way in Evocation. We get Astral Fires, which I spoke about. Magma Eruption's okay. We could put a Perpetual Storm. I don't know that we need to do that. Wrathful Skies, also very castable by us, and we have access to put up air resistance, potentially. The mages for it, anyway. Mind Hunt is potentially going to be big. It's a little expensive for us to set up Mind Hunters, because we need 2 boosters, and then ideally you want to have the Cursed Eye and a... what's the fire water? What's my fire water stick? Rune Smasher. But we can do that, and that's a substantial MR. We're very, very likely to pick off sort of generic commanders. And we have chances at people who have like 1 MR item. So I think Mind Hunt is going to be very effective, or can be very effective. These we don't have access to. Cleansing Water I think is good against undead. I don't think that's necessarily where we're at. Firestorm and Shimmering Fields are both options in the future. Shimmering Field, Air 6. I haven't actually cast this. I'd like to see how it works first, but Area of Effect 50. Damage is 10 plus. Now, you're not going to be very likely to be plus on an Air 6 spell, but if you go against people who don't have air resistance, you can presumably hit a really big amount. I just don't know how much friendly fire this is going to do. Firestorm, very useful. It's a lot for us to get up to cast it. So it already has a 3 gem cost. So your guy has to be fire 4. Yeah, as you get up to fire 4, you can cast it with an extra gem. We can put up fire resistance everywhere as an option. We have access to Acid Storm, which not everybody has access to. This one, you can rust people's armor. I don't know exactly what the counter is to this. So like, I don't know how to make this not hurt our own troops as much as the enemy troops. Because it's acid damage. So I'm not sure what the right answer is there, but we have access to it. Murdering Winter we have access to. We're unfortunately are heat based, so we're going to need specific scenarios to make that work. Rain of Stones we can cast with... a lot of our troops can come in very handy for people who aren't prepared for it. Hit them all in the head, and we have access to Arrow Fend to block that from hitting us. No Death Mages, sadly, for Wind of Death or for Wailing Winds. And then Pillar of Fire, also a great spell for our Fire Mages to cast. Huge amount of damage. They've got an area of effect, which hits more stuff, so... very effective. The only problem with Pillar of Fire is that when we're trying to do things like Storm or Natural Rain, they are going to hurt our Fire Mage's ability to cast. But, you know, sort of is what it is. It's what communions are for. So we're trying. It's kind of a dodge. Or we're trying to sort of, you know, not do what's expected to get this big gem bonus to sort of kickstart our gem economy, because I feel like we're behind on a lot of our gem economy. So. But that's what we're up to on turn 36. We need to finish. We need to do a better job here. I've learned a lot of lessons this game. Now the question is just, can I make sure that I actually learn them and apply them in the future for this game and in the future in future games. But a lot of important lessons. So anyway, we're getting there a bit along, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. But thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.